Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBO NYG Podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's Vin.
What up?
What up? It's dart season, Vin. Your boy Dart is finally playing, man. It only took like 3 weeks. I figured it lasts like a little bit longer, but after seeing the way Russell Wilson was just like, fuck it, go deep when he's like on the goal line and he's just fucking tossing into like section 300. I'm like, this is a fucking problem. If we can't move the ball with him, I mean, I told you it was a fluke going against Dallas because then we seen Caleb Williams just light up Dallas for like 5 touchdowns, 800 yards. I'm like, betting the Bears was the easiest money I made last week, but we'll get into the picks later. But it's dart season, guys. Ben, I want to start with you, man. How do you feel about my man Jackson Dart being next in line, starting the rest of the year now? Dable put it out there.
I know.
It's his decision. It's his decision.
He's a desperate man with the last bite of the apple, and that last bite is the rookie phenom from preseason, Jackson Dart. I think I could have called all this happening because our schedule is completely brutal. Doesn't get easier till about the bye week, where I would have liked to have seen Dart come in. But the way it was going the first couple of weeks, I'm like, we'll probably see Dart come in against New Orleans. But the crowd was calling for Dart Sunday night against the Chiefs because they did Wilson no favors, with this Dart kid, and I just hope they don't ruin him. This is going to be a tough task. The Chargers are pretty good. They're playing well. They're undefeated. This is going to be a lot of pressure on him. He responded to the pressure today. He said, that's what good football players deal with. I just, what makes me nervous about Dart is I feel like if he can't read his first option, which will probably be Neighbors, then he won't look to his second option, do like what Jones did, and just run. And when he runs, he's going to get popped or he's going to get hurt. And then it's like, then what do? Do we go back to Wilson? Is it Winston? I foresee a carousel this year by him being the starter this early in the season. Remind me, guys, when Daniel Jones took the job from Eli when we beat Tampa Bay, did Eli ever come back in that season? I think so, right?
The last game, right, against Miami?
Just to play? That was it? Jones played every game that year?
I think
he won his first 2. He beat Tampa in that field goal.
No, he was looking good early.
And then he looked like shit, but we still struggled against it, and we pulled out a win against Washington.
But you got to remember the Tampa game, like the field goal kicker missed, like a chip shot, and that's why we won.
We went down. Yeah, that was great.
We started celebrating in the bar. I went to shout out to RIP Game Day Sports down in the Bronx. We started celebrating. We're like, we're going back to the Super Bowl. We got our quarterback.
I was at that game, all right, and I was hanging out by the pirate ship the whole fucking game.
So you know what that means? You got to go for Jackson Dart's debut. It's right in Jersey, buddy. It's right in Jersey.
All right, listen. Let's see what happens with the Yankees. All right, they're winning tonight. Boston's winning tonight.
Let's get that division. Let's go get that division.
Let's win the division. It comes out on Sunday.
Yo, we out to a game?
It might be there.
I'm gonna look at tickets. I like going to playoffs game.
Yeah, listen. Let me know if you get.
Not only Giants fans, we're Yankee fans too.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know what I look at and what I find,
and that's how crazy things are.
What do you think, Jules, about Dart?
We're literally on here to talk about football and the Giants and this and that, and we could get that easily distracted to change the subject. All right,
best time of year.
And this year,
October is a good month.
3 weeks fucking in. Okay. Honestly, guys, the thing that worries me is I don't know if you could put fucking Tom Brady back there in his prime and we're going to see a different result. I don't trust the coaches. I'm going to keep saying that. I do not trust the coaches. They're doing play calls. You see Russell Wilson on 2nd down and goal doing a quarterback draw, or it might have been 1st down when he did that one. He's from, and it was when they were the furthest point away from the goal line. It was like first down in like 8 or 9, and they're doing a quarterback draw with a guy that doesn't have that kind of running ability anymore. Instead of handing the ball off to like Scatterboo on a draw or something like that, or doing a fucking drop back and letting that pocket collapse and dropping off a fucking screen, like I've been screaming for. How do you ignore the fact that Neighbors wasn't even targeted in the first quarter and a half? Not even targeted.
Because he sucks.
No, because he sucks, bro.
Because he's overhyped.
If you're that good of an offensive coordinator, you design plays to get it to your star player. I'm going to repeat what I just said. If you're that good of a coordinator, you design plays to get it to your star players. And you could even hear Chris Collinsworth talking about that game, and he's just like, I don't understand why they don't run a quick screen to him. Why don't they just run a quick pass and let him fucking make something happen? Why not run a slant to him? Why we never run fucking slants? I'll never figure it out. All right? We don't do it. Line them up in a slot for a fucking play or two. Let the other guys on the outside. You send Slayton down the sideline fucking wide open, running down streaks, and you leave the fucking middle of the field open for Malik. We don't do any of this. It drives me nuts. So, yeah, what does it look like with Dart coming in? It looks like you got a quarterback a coach that's fucking desperate, knows his job is absolutely on the line, and thinks that he's going to rub a fucking bottle and the genie's going to pop out and he's going to be like, give me 10 wins. All right, it ain't going to happen, bro. This season's done. It is over. I don't understand why you look. So you get one bad game out of Russ. You get an amazing fourth quarter out of Russ. Then you get another bad game, and just because the crowd is chirping, you're now going to start fucking Dart, what, just to put asses in the seat? Because that's all this is? That's all this fucking is. This is just a draw because we have another home game, and everybody's going to be like, oh, we got to go see Darts. We're going to pack out the stadium again at 1 o'clock.
Quick question for you guys.
I agree a little
bit. Do you think – I agree with a lot of what you said.
But not all of it.
Do you guys think there's a possibility that it came from upstairs and Mara was like –
No. It's Dable's call. It just came out today. It's his call. And he basically threw the management under the bus, saying, I never gave Russell Wilson a certain amount of time, or Jackson Dart, we didn't want to rush him. When he's ready to play. So he pretty much threw a shot to the ownership.
Okay.
So Jules, I kind of agree with a lot of you said, like Vin just said, but not all of it. I think just the play of Russell Wilson. I mean, we've seen Russell Wilson be garbage in, Pitt, in Denver, Seattle's last year and a half there. And the coaches, guys like Pete Carroll, just want to get rid of him. Tomlin want to get rid of him. Sean Payton, the quarterback guru, want to get rid of him. Something was wrong there. And we're the only team, and of course, Russell Wilson got to be happy. The Giants paid him $10 million for 1 year to come here and play 3 games. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of his play was just really bad. But you're right.
Yeah, but Trina,
the coaching was horrible with some of these plays. I was just like, what are you doing here?
I would have went, if you're going to make the bench again, I think it is a little premature. The guy got 3 games, you know what I mean? And they were brutal games, but I think I would have went with Winston. If I was going to bench him, I would have went with Winston, and I would have been like, I would wait on the kid. I really would. And there's that.
But to Jules' point, you can't, because that's his job. It's on the line.
Right. I mean, the only other thing you could have tried to say was to save grace and say, look, we'll beat the Saints with Dart. If Russ doesn't make this game look good against the Chargers, we'll play him against the Saints. It'll be week 5. Give it one more fucking week. But he is so desperate for some kind of miracle spark at this point, and he thinks that this is it. And that's what makes me afraid, because you got a lot of these fans that feed into too much of this bullshit. You take the quarterback in the first round, he should be playing week 1. I mean, you look at Cam Ward. I'm not going to say he's a bust just yet, but Cam Ward isn't looking that great, dude. And he was the number 1 overall pick.
They're going to be picking top 5 again.
You look at Caleb,
not a good team.
Williams. You look at Caleb Williams, and I crucified him last year. And now you get an offensive coordinator, a real offensive coordinator, and Ben Johnson that now becomes the head coach. And the kid's looking pretty decent. All right, yeah.
He sucks.
Listen, he's looking decent. I'm not saying he's been great. He's still, with the exception of Dallas, doesn't know how to close out games, right? Because he was up. He should have beat Minnesota. He had that game won. He was looking better than J.J. McCarthy, and he couldn't produce in the fourth quarter.
He's very inaccurate. His inaccuracy is off the charts bad.
Yeah, he's not terrible. Everything was supposed to be improved on that team. They got Ben Johnson. They got the offensive calls. They put in place a better offensive line. Listen, the jury's still out. But then you look at guys like C.J. Stroud, great rookie year, struggled year 2, and it's struggling again. You look at Jordan Love. I don't know what's up with him. He's up and down. He's good, he's bad. He's good, he's bad. You don't know what the fuck you're getting out of him. I'm just scared that putting Dart in at this point in time is going to be a repeat of what we've been seeing. If you have a quarterback class that's not getting the higher grades and getting all the praise and you know, because look at Michael Penix. You know, you were going nuts. Michael Penix, we should have took him. JJ McCarthy, we should have took him. They haven't done shit. All right, Penix had a couple of good games at the end of last year, and now he feels he couldn't even fucking throw a touchdown pass. I mean, it's fucking insane. So, like, yo, these guys need time to develop, and no one realizes that. I mean, shit, when back in the day when we were growing up, you drafted a rookie quarterback, you were lucky if that dude got on the field in year 3. Got on the field in year 3. And now we want all these kids to be starting week 1, coming out the gate, and they all got to be superstars, and they all got to be Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons and fucking Pat Mahomes.
Ruined the position. It's ruined the position.
Yeah. So different.
They ruined it.
It's just it's too much around that. I mean, you look at certain guys and they just take some time to develop. You know, that's what it's called. It's called they develop into the NFL. They learn the game. They learn the speed of it. They're going against grown men that are getting paid millions and millions of dollars that have been doing this year in and year out. And all of a sudden they're coming out of college where they were the man for the last 8 years. High school, the man. College, they're the man. They're in the draft. They feel like the man. Now they come to a league where you're playing against a bunch of dudes that were the man. You know what I'm trying to say? And like, it makes me nervous. Look, my optimism is there. I like Dart. I wanted to pick Dart. He was my guy. I've been talking about him ever since he was an Ole Miss. The whole knock on him was could he get under center with Lane Kiffin because he was running that kind of approach set offense. I get it. He proved all that. He could do that kind of shit. What kind of a spark he's going to give to this team? Does he really have that much quicker of a release than Russell Wilson? Is he really going to be able to read defenses that much easier than fucking what Russell Wilson could do? Sure, he'll run better. But, like, yeah, I don't know what kind of a spark we're really supposed to get here. I am totally out on this. I think the Chargers got a really good defense. They're very well coached. And I think they're just going to expose the rookie. I mean, unless we somehow catch Harbaugh off guard, which I seriously doubt.
Maybe he lights it up.
We're in for another long Sunday, man.
Maybe he lights it up. Maybe
Dart's going to do a lot of running. I think he's going to do a lot of positive yards, runs. It's going to be like Daniel Jones did. He comes onto the scene. Like Daniel Jones, even that year, I said it back there. I was like, yo, you got Eli Manning. I know he's struggling in his final year with this shit line, but that was the perfect like way to let Jones wait, let him learn. But because me and now he was the 6th pick, they were like, get him in there, because everybody's ready for the next thing. Like we are now. And it's like the fans need to shut up. Like I keep hearing, oh, he's not getting any better sitting on the bench. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's learning by waiting, and and that's how he should learn. And I want him in the film room. I want him, at practice. He performed really well in the preseasons, but he never went beyond a half. He never went beyond a few different series against vanilla defenses. So I too echo what you said, Jules. I'm very nervous. Even if he does come on really well, I don't want to get too hyped because what do we got left? We played 3 games, there's 17 in total. So we got like 14 games. The sample size is very large for him this year now. Like, I think Dable shot himself in the foot. Dable should have waited. He should have waited for his own sake. I think he's making a mistake. Like, this dude should have waited until he's mid-season. Bring him in, like, I don't know.
Those days are done, Ben. It's over.
I know.
It's on now. It's done. We can't look at it that way. We got to look at it like, all right, he's going to get experience.
Shane's got to go too. These two should have been fired.
This is what's going to happen. Look at these last 14 games. It is it's a tell because if you don't perform well, then you're going to lose your coaching staff. You're going to lose everybody. You're going to have a top pick. Do you start over with a quarterback with a new regime next year? That's what it's going to turn about.
That's the right way to do it.
Unless they like Dart. Unless ownership loves Dart.
If we blow it up, unless we have the number 1 pick and we blow it up, fire Shane, fire Dable. I'm going to tell you this much right now. That new regime comes in. If Dart looks decent, he's got to look good. He can't Bryce Young it. He can't look like Bryce Young, right? He's got to come in. Maybe he's not CJ Stroud. Maybe he's not Jaden Daniels. But like if he's somewhere in between where he was decent enough, no, you got to hear me out. They're not wasting a pick on a quarterback because if not, we're going to do a desperate roulette with quarterbacks again. And I'm going to tell you this because next year's class doesn't look that impressive just yet. It's the following year's class. You already have Dart in place. You have Neighbors in place. You'll have Scatterboo in place. You got to go and build this fucking offensive line. All right. You need to build that offensive line up again, and you need to go get me a true right fucking tackle
And a
or
left
someone in the middle that we could put in there. All right.
I recall banging the offensive line drum for months, maybe even years, and the two of you told me
It's
the
so
line
boring.
is set. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit, man. You guys are real funny. You know that? You're a real funny guy, Jules.
Jules just changed his mind.
We always
we have receipts.
anticipate that these guys start taking the next steps, right? So we thought JMS would, and he can't. The guy's he's not that.
He
dude,
sucks.
Not gonna happen.
Lost.
Listen, Embo, maybe we could shift him over somewhere to the right side.
He's got to play.
Right? He's got to play. What the fuck was that with Andrew Thomas?
I don't know.
We put him on a pitch count, so we put him in to fucking start the game. What the fuck are we doing? Why would you put him in to start the game?
Again, that's Dable being desperate, I think. Andrew Thomas on a pitch count means he's not ready to play, or he's going to play hurt all year.
Yeah, he pretty much say he hurt himself again.
He's not ready to play, and then all of a sudden you put him in for 2 drives, and then you take him out. Why would you do that? Put him in for one, take him out for 1. Put him in for 1, take him out for 1.
Dude, that wasn't like the whole story with the offense. Dude, did you see the way Russell Wilson played though? Honestly, like even like the guys that were kind of open downfield, he just like kind of pulled it back and he just checked it down.
No,
like a lot, man. It was a lot of this bullshit. That was the
thing. He was just at first he was trying to force it downfield. He was forcing it over the top. Meanwhile, they were playing cover 2 the whole night, which means they had 2 safeties over the top the whole fucking night. They were taking away from the deep pass. How are we not figuring out something underneath? Literally, you should have 2 receivers streaking down the field. So you pull those safeties off to the sidelines and you fucking run some slants over the middle or some kind of post or some kind of curl route.
There's a couple of that, but he didn't throw it, Jules. I seen it. There was a couple plays like that, but I understand what you're saying. Like a lot of it was horrible fucking coaching, man. It was disgusting.
If I could go back to the offensive line, there is one bright spot, and we need to sign him immediately, and that's Illuminor. Illuminor is the one. We cannot let this guy walk.
He's solid.
He's not solid. He's given up. He's given up. Yeah, but he's already on the contract. Illuminor is up. He's a free agent at the end of this year. I don't want to lose another tackle. Like Zeitler, we let go. Like we can't find tackles. We can't draft them. Illuminor is a good one. He's given up 3 pressures in the 3 games.
But then what if the thing is they want Embo to be the guy at right tackle?
I don't know. We'll see. But I would not let Illuminor walk out. No way.
I agree. I agree with you.
I would give him a 2-3 year deal.
Then we got to play with devil's advocate here, just like you were doing earlier, right? And say to the fact that, well, if we blow this up, he's gone. If we blow this up, he's gone, bro.
I don't think so.
I don't think we say it. I don't think that the coaching staff comes in.
Dude, he's the only salvaging thing on that line, on that entire unit.
But that's why I think you rebuild. I think you hang on the Dart, you hang on the Scatterby, you hang on the Neighbors, obviously. You hang on the Field Johnson, maybe get another player in the second round.
No.
You get me a right tackle.
When I say full rebuild, I mean 3 things: new GM, new coach, new quarterback. You have to do those 3 at the same time.
But then you can't force it. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't force these.
Put themselves in this position to force it.
So hold on. People knocked this year's draft with the depth and everything for that quarterback position. They knocked it. And if it wasn't for us trading back in the first round, there's no guarantee Dart goes in the first round. He might have. There was some rumors, but no guarantee. Then a couple of quarterbacks started going after that. It wasn't a strong class. You go to the year before, it was 6 quarterbacks in the first 10 picks or 8, 9, 12 picks, whatever the fuck it was. Yep. You know what I'm trying to say? That's a draft where you sit there as a new GM and say, shit, I got to get me one of these guys. But again, none of that's working out. JJ McCarthy can't stay on the field. He looked good for 1 quarter, looked horrible for another game. Now he's hurt again. You know what I'm saying? Michael Penix looks fucking lost. That kid doesn't look good at all.
Got benched.
Yeah, he got benched, dude, for Kirk Cousins. Come on, dude. Like,
there's also another guy you didn't mention, Bo Nix.
Drake May.
Bo Nix. Drake May looks like he's better than Jaden Daniels, if you ask me.
Listen, Bo Nix should have an extra win. He's been playing some pretty decent defenses.
He's in a tough division.
Well, yeah, we'll see when he gets to the easier games what he does. If he starts coming back and lighting it up, he's been hot and cold. He's been.
But also for me, for the sake of being consistent, I would have rather one of those quarterbacks, even if they suck, over a wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, for the simple fact that the quarterback is a way more important position. It's a way more important position.
Clearly, you wouldn't have gotten it right. at least you know you have your best offensive
Something.
player in Malik Neighbors.
He hasn't done
Ben,
nothing.
What I say last week, when we get him the ball and he has like more than a certain amount of catches, we're in ball games. But when we don't, we're not, and that's on coaching.
But you're proving my point, Mike.
But it's
Yeah, but you know
it's a quarterback dependent position.
No, but this is the point. You
no,
can't
like quarterback is way more important.
No, but this is what you're telling. This is where I disagree, because you could have a mediocre quarterback follow simple things, right? And if you know your star player is getting double teamed and even probably covered in the flat by a linebacker or an end or something to just chip him away and keep him out of the flat area, and you know he's getting covered over the top, he's getting bodied up man to man, he's getting taken out of the game. And then if you want to streak a Slayton or somebody else down the field, they have another safety to cover the top. That means the middle is exposed. Where was it? How come there wasn't anything thrown to Theo Johnson? How come Wendell wasn't doing the little underneath routes like he was doing all fucking day last week? The week before.
Wilson doesn't have an intermediate game anymore. He doesn't have that type of arm. He's either throwing it over the top moonshots or he's checking down. He don't have that, I'm just going to sling it in the middle of the field anymore.
Yeah,
You said it perfect. No slants anymore, because I don't think the quarterback can do it. I don't think
maybe that's why the coaching staff. I'll give the benefit of doubt to the coaching staff. Maybe that's why they can't run turn plays, because he's having that kind of an impact. Maybe it's better that you go to Dart, and that's could expand it. Maybe I don't know.
What was the excuse last year? Because Daniel Jones seemed to be doing that shit in Indianapolis, and we didn't throw any fucking call any plays to do it there. It's the play calling. It is Dable. It is Kafka. I am sorry. Look. Maybe Dable came in, he's in over his head, he's making decisions that he wouldn't normally make because he's starting to feel in the heat and he's getting desperate and he's just doing things that's just not normal to him. Look, he needs to kind of leave for a little bit. Maybe go back to college, maybe, because I don't know if any other teams are going to sign him right away in the NFL. Go back, do some offensive coordinator, go on a team that you have some success, maybe win a national title or compete for one, get in the college playoff and get the buzz and come back to the NFL and fix yourself and get your shit right.
Honestly,
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of coaches do. Look at Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn went all the way to the Super Bowl with the fucking Falcons and then choked his ass off in the second half against Tom Brady and gave up the biggest fucking disaster of a fucking Super Bowl ever. Up until that point. But what I'm trying to say is, and then he ended up what? He was on Dallas for a little bit as a D coordinator, came back, made the defense look good, got a chance, came back and rebranded himself. That's what Dable needs to do at this point. I'm not saying he's done as a coach, but it's just
coordinator.
It's just like fucking, something McKinney and Barkley and all those guys. Sometimes you're just done with where you're at. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's what I think.
And I like the guy, and I think moves just didn't work out for him. I'm done with Shane too. Shane's got to go. He's got to go. Dude, that draft, that year, the draft with Deonte Banks and all that, that's a bad draft. That's a really, from the beginning to the end. Deonte Banks played 12 snaps. Like,
that wasn't it, Ben. That's not the only thing is drafting. Then they came, like, it was a big story today that came out, how, like, Dable and Shane come off as, like, kind of, like, cocky, and how, like, the players don't respect them. And it comes out because everybody's seen on Hard Knocks with the whole Barkley thing, with how they treated, like, players, and they talked about it. And that's a real problem. That's a real issue. They got a clean house. I'm telling you, I'm done with them, too.
And then you don't even get started with the Evan Neal and the Thibodeau, which I don't really blame him for those picks, because I thought they were the right picks at the time.
Thibodeau's
value at need, but for those guys not to work out goes to coaching. It was like, where was the development there? Like Evan Neal is a monster. You look at him; he's 6'8". He's over 250 pounds. Like, this guy was in the SEC. Like, he played both right and left tackle. Like, he should have seemingly been a star. Watch this guy now somehow be okay and be solid somewhere else. Watch.
Everybody else goes and does well.
Evan Neal, if it happens to Evan Neal, it's going to be amazing, because he was a total disaster. We had Flowers, who was a disaster, and he turned it into a career. It's really like
that's a problem. That's an issue. That's a fucking management issue.
Don't forget, listen, when you're a head coach, at that point in time, it's you picking the right guys that you think can run a system that you like. That's it. That's what you do. You're sitting up there to be the guy who puts everything else in place.
I agree, Jules.
So we lost you. What had happened? Yeah. Kafka should have been gone. You should have found a different person right then and there to bring in and have him be your guy that's running the system the way you want it run. That's what they do. That's what good head coaches do. Belichick, he always found a good offensive coordinator to run his system. That's why he was successful. He made Matt Patricia basically follow a game script that he developed, and he knew that he would follow it to the T that he wanted him to follow it. That's what he did year in and year out. That's what good head coaches end up doing. They end up creating a good enough atmosphere to that these guys can come in and they can make names for themselves because they'll know how to run his fucking type of a fucking offense.
Let me say this about Belichick, though, because I think it's a little, we got to omit that analogy. He had Brady. I think when you have a quarterback that can make plays. Because post Brady, Belichick has looked.
Okay, so wait, but how come Parcells never won without Belichick?
Parcells though, he was a rebuilder. He knew how to rebuild. What did Belichick win without Brady?
But he did what Parcells did. He doesn't get the same kind of credit, except Parcells maybe had a little bit more success. They bring in, you look at these coaching trees, right? You go to like Mike Holmgren.
I'm not trying to say Belichick was whack. I'm saying your analogy, though, you don't have a quarterback.
You just can't draft for shit.
If you look at a lot of these great coaches, the coaching that came under them all became head coaches. Any of these real big fucking names, George Seifert and Walsh and Lombardi and fucking Landry and all, they all had Holmgren. They all had plenty of, like, Holmgren's is amazing. Andy Reid was on the Holmgren. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, you had
Mariucci.
Mariucci and fucking Chucky. John Gruden was all under him. They was all under him. You know what I'm saying? These guys won Super Bowls. Like, are you
all offensive guys?
That's what the head coach figure used to be, and it still is. There's still a lot of that goes on. McVay nowadays is got a lot of that. Harbaugh has got a little bit of that. We'll see how these Eagles turn out. We'll see how the Lions now turn out with Ben Johnson and Glenn. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's a lot of that still, but that is where it comes from. It comes from where these head coaches, they know how to hire the right guys that know how to run and operate their system because they're going to expect them to do it. And Dable wasn't ready for that. Once you have that kind of conflict, I still want to do this and I still want to do that. Why do you have this guy here? Why are you trying to bring in a guy that's trying to be a head coach? You know what I'm saying? You got to let these dudes run, and you got to pick what you are and show your identity, stick to it, and make sure you have guys in place that know that that's what you want and go out and run. And
we should have had our eyebrows raised with the Wink Martindale stuff. Wink was definitely at fault with a lot of that stuff, because I'm sure he was walking around the locker room with his buddies talking about, we run the defense, we're good, we're great. I'm sure Dable didn't want to hear that as a head coach.
He was jealous too, Wink, because he was in play for the head coaching job for the Giants.
Right, he never got one, and he never got one because of that ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, Wink is like an old school guy. He reminds me of like the Ryans, like Buddy Ryan and all those guys. They're fiery. They do fucking coordinators. They come at you. They want to be screaming and yelling and this and that. And you know what? Dable didn't like that.
It's a good comparison.
He liked the style because he knew the defense he'd bring to the table, but it wasn't what he wanted for the whole fucking mesh of the team. So that didn't work. A guy like that.
I don't think so. I think Dable's problem was Wink's personality.
If you would put Wink Martindale on fucking Detroit with your guy that you fucking hate on all the time, and they didn't look so bad on Monday night, he would have been a fucking animal, okay? And that dude would have probably ended up as a head coach right now.
You take a shot. You take a shot at me.
Dude,
real quick, Jules. I want to respond to that. Let me respond.
Could you imagine if Wink played for coach under Campbell?
Yo, wait.
Campbell will whoop his fat ass.
Let me say this about Dan Campbell. Where are we in the calendar of the year? What game is this?
I'm saying that if Wink,
that's what I'm talking about. Campbell can't win a big game.
So I'm talking.
That's my criticism on the guy.
Like a couple years back, if Wink would have gotten hired instead of Aaron Glenn or whoever, however that whole thing shook out, and he went to Detroit instead under Campbell, that would have been a huge successful. He would have had his ticket fucking written. However, because the Giants have been down, it's the New York Giants, and it has such a huge history and fan base and publicity. Every coach will come here because he's, fuck, I can make a name for myself. I'll make a ticket. I get paid. Spagnuolo did it, got a head coaching job, right? All these dudes once they get up there, they're almost in line for a head coaching job immediately. You go to a place like Detroit, it doesn't work out. You're going to be waiting a while. You know, understand what I'm trying to say? And like some coaches want the fast road. So Wink took the fast road. But if he would have went to a guy like Campbell, that dude would probably be a head coach right now in the NFL.
Well, Wink is no spring chicken. Wink's up there in age.
Don't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters. It matters.
Dan Quinn isn't either, but he still went and took that DC job in Dallas.
Quinn's been a head coach before, though, and he's taken teams to Super Bowls. You know, Quinn has a little bit more to offer on a resume. You know?
I get it. But the point I was trying to make is that head coach needs to be the figurehead, and he needs to have guys that he can trust to go out and get done what he feels needs to be done to win that game. So him and Wink butted heads. We know that. Wink was saying, no, I need to run my defense like this, and I need to do that. And he didn't even want Dable to fucking say anything. You can't have that. You can't just be like, okay, you run the offense, I'll run the defense. It's not remember the fucking Titans. You know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't until they got together that team started fucking winning, and that's a true story. So let's just put it the because it kind of went down. Maybe that's not as Hollywood dramatic, but it definitely started off that way. That's what a head coach is there for. A head coach is like a manager of a team.
So right? Can I ask you guys something?
A leader of men.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can I ask you guys a serious question about that? Do you think Dable gets fired before the end of the year, or you think he lasts this year?
It's a question I was going to ask you guys. Yeah.
No, he'll last the year. He'll last the year.
He'll last the year, you think?
Yeah, because like when the fuck did we ever fire a head coach in the middle of the season?
It would be funny. It would be funny if they let him go and just gave Kafka the job to say fuck it. No. You know, you haven't done anything for us in like 3 years. That's the joke though. You know, I'm not being serious because Kafka is just like he's been like an invisible offensive coordinator.
I think that's the reason why Dable stays. I think our coordinators are so bad. Don't even get me started on Shane Bowen. I think our coordinators are so bad. Like, who are you gonna give it to then? Who's your interim? You know what I mean?
Well, when a guy like Neighbors come out, hold on. When a guy's like Neighbors come out, remember he said in the interview it's not the quarterback.
I feel, hold on, just because you brought up Shane Bowen, and I feel like we don't talk enough about defense on this show. We talk so much about defense. We're offense until the fucking blue in the face, and then it's like defense a little bit sprinkled on top, right? What the fuck? And maybe I was the only one to notice this, but when I saw like Carter getting close to Mahomes, or I'm pretty sure I saw Burns do it. I know Tibbs did it at least once. They were coming in, they were closer, they would put their one hand up in the air. Like they were playing D in basketball or something. What are you doing? Bro, if he's not throwing the ball and you think you can pick it up, just hit the motherfucker.
Dive at him. Start diving.
It slows you. First of all, it slows you down. All right? Because go try to run. Put a Usain Bolt and have him run a 100-meter dash with one arm in the fucking air versus him sprinting and fucking moving his arms and his body. All right?
You're not allowed to hit Mahomes anyway.
A lot slower too. What are you doing? So now you're slowing down the pursuit because you want to put your arm up like this? Like you're going to get this, like Pat Mahomes can't throw it around a fucking arm. Are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck? Not even both hands, just one. All right? Like, what the fuck was that? It looked retarded. And he had his fucking white glove. It reminded me of fucking A-Rod in that ALSCS where he was trying to slap the fucking ball out of the Red Sox glove and shit.
Don't bring that up.
What is this? Like a big fucking huge, it looked like a big, huge Mickey Mouse glove that was fucking going on top to smack it down. Like one of those fly swatters. I was like, what is this fucking thing?
A-Rod didn't mean it.
Oh, okay. What was that?
I said A-Rod didn't mean it. It was an accident. You said, go Yanks.
This defense should be ashamed of themselves. This defense, we kept hearing all season, the defense is going to be this. Defense.
Not only that, hold up. You know what? And one other thing what was also blowing my mind with this too is how many times, because we were getting burned a lot, and I get it. Okay, you want to say, fucking flat and this, that, whatever. I don't care. But why are these guys in one-on-one coverage? Why is Traquan and fucking whatever the fuck his name is for fucking killing us in one-on-one coverage? Where the fuck is everyone else? If you're rushing 5 guys, 6 guys sometimes, you're not getting enough pressure. Now you're putting these dudes on one-on-one islands. Bro, the whole point of having the pass rush that we had was that you should feel comfortable if a team passes on first and second down, that those 4 can get to the quarterback and drop everybody else back.
But they don't play that much together. That's another.
That's the other thing.
Oh, there was like how many snaps? It was like 12 snaps.
That's the other thing.
It's annoying. That's why I said everything. I think we all agree. This coach shift's just got to go.
I got to tell you though, there is one guy who I like, but I feel bad. Like I feel like offensive coordinators are picking on this guy because they're going at him every game, and that's Andrew Phillips. Drew is getting burnt, and they are going at him like they are fucking killing him. And you know what? I will say this: with the McFadden injury, this doesn't get talked about enough. with the McFadden injury, Carter is now like kind of like in that spot. So they kind of like they've been playing him more with like off like linebacker coverage kind of, and it's like kind of sucks. We're very thin on defense. So once McFadden went down, that Massow guy is horrific, absolutely horrific. And it's like I don't know.
think
Is
we
there
would've
any
signed somebody.
updates? Is there any updates on McFadden? Is there?
There's,
Haven't
there's
heard
still
anything.
no, there's still no fucking updates on Tracy. Oh, I guess we haven't put him on IR yet.
I thought he broke his collarbone. I was like, oh, it's his collarbone.
They
But
say 2 to 4 weeks, but you're right. It's nothing's official. They keep everything like
it's weird the way they're
shaken.
doing
Very
it.
yeah. That's why like this organization just gotta. They need
Last
to
year, dudes were going down, and I'm like, yo, they're taking us out for the rest of the year when they could, like Dexter Lawrence could have probably played last year if we were in contention
in
or
it.
something.
Yeah,
But
Why
like
would
it
you?
was just like they were like, all right, we're just not gonna play them. We're not gonna play.
I'm hurt. It's time. You want me back next year, right? Okay.
Not
so
worth it.
I'm good.
Like this whole defense, other than maybe Thibodeau and Burns, like they're all like took off last year. You know what I mean?
they
They're
did.
like, what are we doing? You took off. Like Andrew Thomas is killing me because it's like
The
he's
tank
got
was-
ability. He's so important to this offense, to this team in general. Because if our offense stays on, our defense is not on. Then he affects this whole flow of everything, and it's like this fucking guy. I think it's just chronic foot pain, and it's going to be his detriment. It is his detriment.
Unfortunately, like back in the day when he first got the injury, he played that entire year. Remember that with that fucking
Yep.
injury. So it sucks, man. We got a fucking bad curse. We just got to move into a new stadium, get rid of that. You guys want to wrap this up so we can do the picks? I'm done talking about this mess.
Yeah, it's pretty messy.
Really, like it's every year now. It's like a depressing podcast. I want to be happy for once.
And again, like I said,
Sucks.
look, I'll try to spit some optimism here. I mean, we did see some flashes, and again, it was preseason, so who the fuck knows what that even means anymore. But I mean,
Doesn't mean
I
anything.
did see.
Doesn't mean nothing. That's what it means.
No,
Doesn't
but
mean
like
shit.
you know what, Vin, just to kind of like go off of
Not
a
a
comment,
goddamn thing.
a comment that you made earlier today, where you said, "Oh, Jackson's going to look at his first read, and then he's going to probably turn it down Jones and just look to run." He wasn't doing that in preseason. He hung in the pocket a little bit longer. He did go through progressions. You just got to hope that translate into the regular season.
With a real defense.
Coming on, when
Yep.
it's coming at him.
With Khalil Mack coming at him.
Listen, but you know what? He played.
Real.
He played. I don't even know if Mac is healthy, so we don't even know if he's playing just yet. But look,
not.
he did play in a tough SEC. He played in some tough games. It's the NFL. Here it is. This is your shot, kid. Sometimes people rise to the occasion. And I'm not saying that he's gonna fucking be, a miracle where he's gonna throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and we're gonna light it up. We're gonna beat the Chargers. We're gonna put up 40 points. But you never know. I mean, look at him. Maybe he has an efficient game where he does 23 for 29 for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he runs for like another 30 or 40. Right? I mean, that's not some fucking great day, but it's also not terrible. That's
My
what James
expectations
was doing in the beginning of last year too.
What I'm looking for out of Dart is don't turn the ball over and don't get hurt.
No, see,
That's what I want.
I don't mind if it's a pick where, damn, that was a rookie read and he misread that and they duped him into a fucking pick, right? I don't want him also being tentative where he's like, one look deep. Oh my God, no, 2, check down. Oh my God, 1 look deep. No,
No,
check down.
he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, to
But
turn
he
the
look-
fucking ball over.
Looking at Jaden
Fucking
Daniels,
rip, kid.
looking at Jaden Daniels, I'd like to see him be a patient. That's what Daniels is. He's a patient, calm quarterback. Like that's what I want to see out of Dart.
He is.
Like, don't be patient and calm, and just let the game come to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. But I think he's nuts,
23.
like Scatterboo, and I think he's just gonna fucking run wild. I
love Scatterboo.
23
I love Scatterboo.
He's a starter
Look at
now.
his stat line. 23 for 29, 230, maybe 2 touchdowns, right?
I'm fine. That's fine with me.
That's
Is it-
efficient.
Is it realistic?
I mean, it could be. Why not? It was what Jaden Daniels did last year.
Imagine he throws for
Well, make the
450,
comparison. Here, I'll pull up his
5
stats.
touchdowns.
What he did against us, right? This is what Jaden Daniels did against us week 2. All right. He was 23 for 29 for 226 yards and no touchdowns. Okay. And then he ran 10 times for 44. That was his fucking second week debut in the NFL. And
What was
they
the score?
praised this
What
kid.
was the score of that game?
That was the one that we should have won with you.
Biggest mid-league neighbors dropped the ball in the fourth quarter.
21-18.
21-18. Enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Enough.
All right.
Just win games, Jackson. Just win some games. You know?
I think
That's
that's
all-
what we, so
All we
I
want.
don't know what's gonna come of this. You know what I mean? It's
All right, I got a couple questions for you guys.
I don't care about the
think-
fantasy shit. I just want wins.
Do you think we are top 5 in the draft by the end of the year?
Yeah.
probably.
Do you think we're first 2 or 3 picks again?
It's a good chance.
I don't know. The Jets are really bad, but they got some easy
Oh, yeah.
games on their schedule. Who else is bad? Titans are pretty bad. Arizona will probably win some games. Who's
Yeah, they
bad?
will.
Oh, New Orleans is really bad. The New Orleans might beat us. I think New Orleans could beat us.
They could. They could actually.
Yeah, they're
This is in
competitive.
New Orleans, right?
Stop.
They're competitive.
Well, hey, listen, we'll get there in a couple weeks when we do
They
the
come in your survival pool there, Jules. They come in there.
I'm taking the Chargers.
You're playing with fire. I think you're playing with fire, especially with Dart now coming in. I
think
would
we
not
should-
touch that game at all. And then what's my other question? Okay, just for shits and giggles, if Dable was to get fired in the next couple of weeks, and they were to bring somebody from the outside or whatever,
Chucky.
who would you love to see coach the New York Giants?
Chucky.
You want to see Gruden in here?
Oh,
You think
yeah.
they'll go Gruden?
Yeah.
Really?
He'd be the
Really?
perfect guy for New York.
Unanimously. There's nothing else you're going to tell me that I want something
Yeah.
different. I'm not bringing in another coordinator.
I
That's
think he
the
wants it.
coordinator of the week. There's no one in college currently, unless fucking Ryan Day maybe wants to leave Ohio State, but he's got too much made. And let Ryan Day prove himself a little bit more down there. So
Is-
there's no hot college coach. There's no hot coordinator I want currently.
Does
There's
Gruden bring
That's
Antonio Pierce as his defensive coordinator?
That'd be sick. He wants the job, though. You can tell he wants that. He wants the New York job.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He
And
does.
again, look, hold on. And again,
And he wants full control.
I can't contradict myself there because now you're asking me for coordinators. And I would want Gruden to bring in the guys that he thinks can do what his system is. That's it, bottom line. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that
Because he's
that
also
should be with everybody, though.
but you understand, Gruden's not going to come in. He's going to come in with a scarlet letter on him because he was kind of ousted by the NFL. That's all.
Yeah, do you guys think Gruden comes back in the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
You think it's a done deal? It's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see,
Not bad.
I'm not sure. I'm not
It's
sure.
possible, bro.
I know he's
Very
back,
possible.
like with football. He's on football shows and all that. But I'm like, does a team actually take a shot on him again?
I think it could happen. That's
yeah.
that's a guy. It reminds me of when we had all that Bill Cowher buzz back in the day, a few years back.
But he
before-
never did anything with it. He never
did.
did it.
But I think that if Gruden gets the opportunity, he might because of the way he left the NFL. Right? Don't forget, Cowher left on top. He left as the man. He won his Super Bowl. He passed the torch to Tomlin. Tomlin comes in and wins. He kind of it wasn't much more for him to prove.
Well, it
Gruden-
took Coward 20 years to get there.
But Gruden got ousted for some emails that got leaked.
Yeah.
And he's got a scarlet. He might have a chip on his shoulder. If he does, and he comes back with that chip on his shoulder, fuck yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine him coming to the Giants in the Halloween game and all these motherfuckers are dressed up as Chucky?
Here we go.
Oh, it'll be on, man.
Yo, but
Bring
what about-
Chucky here?
Do you
Bring
guys
Chucky to
remember?
New
Do
York.
you guys remember Gruden's? It sticks in my head all the time. His interview with Jackson Dart. He told him tell me your count, and Dart just got up and he just clapped. Yo, I was like, oh my god. Gruden was looking at him. He's like, you're not serious, are you? He's like, that's it. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh damn. Can you
Nah,
imagine? Gruden might not take the job because of that interview.
And listen, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna say something. I think that interview persuaded the Giants to do what they did to get Dart. Gruden loved him. That's part of the reason why we sent them all that memorabilia. It's lined up for Gruden to come in and
It's a
take
side
over
deal.
the fucking
It's a
Giants.
side-
guys
that deal was done last year.
Yo,
That
you
deal's
guys are-
already done. He's
Yo.
already head coach for the New York Giants in 2026.
It's like you two share the same brain. It's
Crap.
unbelievable
Dude,
how lock and
No,
step
that-
you two
when
are.
when we get to the picks, it'll be quite apparent that you guys share the same brain when it comes to
Yo.
the picks. I got a surprise for you guys when we get there. Let's
And
wrap
then
this up.
You know what? Listen, you want to hear more of this shit because we're going to be having a lot more going on.
wait, one more question.
No,
If
we're
not
doing the
Gruden,
picks.
if not Gruden, who else?
Nobody
With
else.
A possible firing, do you think could get this job?
Then give me Kingsbury.
Ooh, I like it, Jules. Interesting.
I agree.
Yeah, listen.
As a head coach, though, he was a epic failure.
Yeah,
listen,
Kyler Murray, though.
now it's his redemption tour.
But that was supposed to be
He's
his
still a young
boy.
dude, bro. He's young.
Kyler Murray was supposed to be his boy, and Kyler Murray was like, "Fuck you" to Kingsbury on TV.
Yeah, but look what Kingsbury did, right? Like I think Jaden Daniels is a fraud, maybe, because look at Mariota. Mariota stepped in and looked fucking great,
Yeah.
right? You want to talk about redemption? Here it is, right?
Okay.
He's 46 years old, man. He's 46.
He's young.
He's
He's young.
for like the next 25 years if you wanted to. But you know what I'm saying? Like you sign a young dude who's hungry to redeem himself, it would be Kingsbury as my second pick.
Okay.
All right.
I like you had an answer on the ready.
On that note, hey, I just hate him because he's on Washington, and I still don't give him that much credit. But that's why I'm saying it, because if you can make Marcus Mariota look good and look almost as efficient as Jaden,
He's running a good offense.
He's
It's
doing
a
something
good
right.
offense.
He's
Ben
putting
Jules-
Debo Samuels. McLaurin's been hurt. They're running 4 different running backs now at running back. Like a
Ben,
huge
It's
running
good.
back
The committee.
Ben,
He's doing
Jules
something
comes
right.
prepared on this podcast.
Yo, I like that he had an answer. I think he would have an answer. It's good.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna be down with fire with picks. Watch the Giants, have some fun. Dart's gonna make a debut. Who knows? Maybe he shocks the fucking world, and we come back in here and we're like, Dart, no. Kind of doubt it because the coaching staff is trash. Dable, sorry, I like you barely as a person, but not as my head coach. With that in mind, we'll see you guys next week.
Let me just say one last thing. Whether we like it or not, the Jackson Dart era has begun in New York.
Bullseye
Here we go.
season.
Like
Go
that.
Giants.